What's up, everybody? Welcome. 77 Flavors of Chicago.
You know what time it is?
You know what time it is. Go ahead, hit that follow, subscribe button right here on YouTube, notifications so that you can stay up to date on all cool things happening in history in Chicago.
They wouldn't be happening because they're history. They already happened.
You know. You know what I'm saying?
Being told.
Being told. Anyway, today's episode is pretty cool.
It is.
It's pretty cool. I'm glad we get to go inside.
Yeah.
Because
it's rainy.
A little rainy.
Gloomy.
But the weather's nicer.
It's 40
You know what I mean?
degrees.
Look at us. 40
It is. It's 40 degrees after like days of 7.
Yeah, and it was like -7. Like -7. And it was like almost 50 today.
Yeah.
For low key.
It's so true.
So anyway, we digress, talking about Chicago weather. We are talking about the old post office. Yeah, and this is, look, you can kind of see.
We'll show you more.
Yeah, we'll show you more. We're standing in front of the old post office.
Yeah.
Really dope building. To give you some real quick facts, we're gonna go inside, take a look, because it's really dope.
Yeah.
But to give you some history, this was opened and built in 1921.
Yep.
And it was to obviously serve a growing city. And Chicago was being one of the fastest growing cities in the country. They had to have a post office, the one that could suffice. And so that's what happened.
Yeah, but it wasn't this big.
No, it was not big. That big. Yeah, I know. That's what you said.
Was it 1932 that they did the expansion?
1932, they did an expansion upwards. So they made this building even taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 more stories. And if you look, you can kind of see where the 9 stories start.
And one of the reasons why they did the expansion was because, 1, the city was obviously growing, but 2, you had things like Sears and Montgomery Ward coming around and people were mail ordering things, so they needed more mail room.
Boy, they needed more mail room. But to that point, we're talking 19 million. It had gotten up to 19 million pieces of mail per day. And so, yes, they had to expand. Fun facts about the expansion, if you ever been here, this goes over the old Congress Parkway, but now the Ida B. Wells Drive, fun fact. But the original plans did not have that hole in there. So
they literally made a hole in it.
Yeah, they would have blocked off. So what they did was they made a hole
so that
things can go through.
Usually there's not going through, I hope.
Yeah, I know, yeah, right. Yeah, if you're going through, boy, slow down.
In and out.
Slow down. So that was kind of like the brief overview of how this building got started. But this got some interesting history.
It does. There's a lot of cool things on the inside.
Yeah, a lot of cool things. Let's go take a look. We'll tell you kind of the turmoil with this building.
Can we do it over food? Because I'm starving.
Yeah, we're going to eat, because there's a food court here now. You probably like in an old post office? We'll tell you about it. Let's go.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, so right now we are walking in what is called the Great Hall. And this was
definitely giving great.
Yeah, and this is where all the mail and mail people would kind of be hanging out.
Isn't that crazy?
And doing what they do. It's a beautiful hall.
It is.
I'm glad they kept this the way it was.
It looks new.
It looks new. That's how fire it is. But we're gonna eat and talk to you over some food here, because this is dope.
I don't know why this happens to us.
Yeah, for real.
All the food in here is closed.
Unreal.
Unreal.
And it ain't even late.
It's like
I guess 5 years like the time things close downtown.
Wouldn't you want to be open for when people get off? Because
yes, it looked like it's lit up there.
Just so you know, this is mostly offices now.
Yeah.
So it is occupied.
Ah.
The post office left in '96 because they wanted something more technologically advanced, but people are working here. Right. Yeah, people are definitely still here. Well, it's not residential, not all residential, but there's a ton of offices and people that work here. So they kind of made this space for them. I mean, when you think about it, it's 2.5 million square feet, y'all. So this thing is insane. It was once the largest U.S. postal office in the U.S.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah, which is crazy. You said you got some fun facts?
I do have some fun facts. I did not memorize the fun facts, so do not come at me if I look down on my phone. So it was dedicated in 1933. It was open to the public in 1932, dedicated in 1933. 2,000 people attended the dedication, which is for a post office. That's a lot of people. I mean, they had bands. They had like music.
That's a little bit much. That's a little bit much.
I don't think they had alcohol because it's like a city thing.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of people. And mind you, this was a time of like the Great Depression.
Yeah. Yeah, right in the thick of it.
Right in the thick of it.
Yeah, right in the thick
of it.
That's
what she said. At the entrance, there was this statue called the Figure of the Republic.
Oh, wow.
And it was built to be like the first thing you see when you enter. And it's this like huge statue that was also put out at 1933 when you would come in.
Okay. So we got the Statue of the Republic and then the what of the Republic? What is the name of it? Of the Republic?
Figure of the Republic.
Figure of the Republic?
Yeah. It was created by the Public Works Art Project. That was the group that like put it together basically.
Interesting. That's a perfect segue for groups because we said this place went through a bunch of changes. Went through a lot of different ups and downs, let's call it that, right? Because after it closed down in 96, this essentially became like almost a vacant building.
It was.
It was vacant and dormant for a lot of the time. So we fast forward to 2011. 2011, this is when they were starting to, I'm gonna look at my notes as well here. There was some redevelopment plans, right? I kind of remember this because this was, only reason I really remember is because we were gonna have the largest building in the United States. I don't know when the One World Trade Center was built. However, when that was built, it took the spot from Chicago, had the tallest building in the world, in the country. This was the plan to make the tallest building in the country, and
for this,
yeah, this area, they were gonna basically knock all this down, right?
But, so this building is on the National Register of Historic Places, isn't it?
Yeah, in 2001.
Wow.
But they weren't gonna knock all of it down.
Yeah.
But you know, it still could be on the National Register, and they modified. So that's what they were gonna do, and build a bunch of buildings, right? A bunch of buildings. That was gonna be 2,000 feet, 500 feet plus taller than the Sears Tower.
Wow.
So that was the plan for that, but that kind of fell through because it was a $3.5 billion plan. And so a guy a guy by the name of Bill Davies, he purchased. He was kind of spearheading the plan, the plans to get it going. Problem is, he had $500 million invested towards it to get it done. Phase one, they were going to break this down into 3 phases. Phase one cost $450 million. So that would have been it. He didn't get funders and help to build it. The next 2 plans, this thing sat dormant for almost 2 decades. So because he couldn't get the money and he owned it, you know what I mean?
Was he preserving the inside?
It was kind of, but it was. I remember those times. I can't really remember a whole bunch, but like it was nothing going on.
There was nothing.
You would hear nothing going on from this building.
People would just walk past it and it's empty.
Right, it's just empty. Now, we fast forward to, I want to say 2016. 2016 is, at that time, Rahm Emanuel was Chicago's mayor. He almost put a halt to it. Yeah. Rahm Emanuel, he basically said, hey, look, y'all demoing. You do something with this, or else the city is taking it by eminent domain.
He loved that shit.
He did. Well, Chicago in general love eminent domain. We just love eminent domain here in Chicago. So, because I mean, at that point, not empathizing at all with it, but you know, you got
I understand. It's a huge building that's just sitting there empty.
2 decades, right?
That's ridiculous.
So, as the negotiations went, Bill Davies had negotiations going with a New York firm that also owns the Aon building and other notable buildings here in Chicago.
Wow.
They own some of it, so he was in talks to sell it to them. Well, May 16th, 2016, they finally reached a deal to sell this land to get something going.
Wow.
The very next day, Bill Davies died.
What?
So people were kind of like, the plan went through, but he died. What do we do?
Does that still stand? Like, does that decision still? Yeah,
It still stood.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because he he made the sale. So the firm that he sold it to was like, all right, well, we'll do it. They started to renovate the building, right? They started to renovate and kind of make something happen with this space. So a lot of the things you see to clean it up, tidy it up, you know, it's just in part to them.
Yeah.
Now, while that's going on, they needed tenants.
Right.
And so right now we're sitting in front of Walgreens. I believe Pepsi is inside of here. So they needed tenants. They weren't the first tenants, or nobody was here really jumping on board until, well, actually, here's a fun fact. Google was going to buy this rent out space and make this their big headquarters.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously that did not happen. But check this out. Uber came through. Uber came through and said, hey, we'll sign a 10-year lease.
They pulled up, if you may.
They pulled up.
Get it? It's Uber.
They signed a 10-year lease.
Wow.
To be in here and be the largest tenant in the old post office.
Wow.
Started in, I believe the lease started in 2020, I believe it was. They signed it in 19 and 2020 is when it went into effect. They, like I said, they're the largest tenant. 463 square feet. 463,000 square feet.
Yeah. Our apartment's
bigger. That's a small apartment. Yeah. But yes,
That's crazy.
That is. I had to make sure we record. I don't know why. So I was like, what? No, but that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So here we are. They added the food courts. We got the tenants in here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of thriving. I mean, it's a little quiet in here right now, but it's kind of thriving.
It's really cool. I mean, it's really cool to just walk in and see. A lot of historical things happened while this was the post office.
Yeah.
You had the first in 1944 was the first female post officer.
Oh.
And post officer.
Post office person. Male woman.
Male person.
Male person. Yeah.
And in 1944, she was 22 years old. She was a widow. She had a 3-year-old kid.
Oh, wow.
And she was the first and only in 1944. I mean, there's a full thing in the Tribune of archives of Tribune articles about this building and like all the accomplishments. They have a pad on the roof that you can see if you fly your drone, where the helicopter used to land to pick up the mail.
Oh, wow.
The first airmail happened from here. There was Airmail Week that happened from here. There's a lot of really cool history that has to do with this. There's cool pictures of like thousands and thousands of parcels of mail around Christmas. And you can see the people, like the head post officer, and like, I don't know if that's the actual title of like the head person in a post office, but you can see them like sorting through thousands of parcels of mail to send to people deployed overseas. And mind you, like that, we were heading into World War II, right?
Yeah,
so like, it was a ton of mail around Christmas. So a lot of historical things happened here.
A lot of fun things happened here too. A lot of fun things happened here.
I do have one more that's kind of wild.
Oh, go ahead.
So you know how it's 9 floors? So there was a conveyor belt on the first floor that would take mail up to the 9th floor. It cost $100,000 at the time, and it would take 25 minutes for mail to go from the first floor to the 9th floor.
Could you imagine?
An elevator takes 5 minutes. But they used to use the conveyor.
That was ridiculous. What the fuck?
Isn't that crazy?
The conveyor belt, didn't it just go up?
Yeah, but it took 25 minutes for it to reach.
To get it cranking?
And it cost $100,000.
Yeah, nah, man, look.
Actually, let me see what. That was 1965.
Yeah, nah, man. Nah, I'm good on that. I'm
good on
that. That's why my mail going slow, because y'all got it on the conveyor belt. Take it off the conveyor belt. Like I said, fun facts about this. Movie facts, right? This has been in 2 Batman movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
Assuming like pre-completion, right?
What?
Like before it was, like not on the inside, the outside.
Yeah, the outside. Yeah, the outside. And then a couple different Transformer movies.
Oh.
Also, yeah. So
interesting.
Check those out. You can see this building here.
That is
pretty
really
dope.
Cool. That is, yeah. I will say it looks. I honestly don't know how much of like the marble and stuff is original. I assume a lot of it is.
Probably some of the renovation.
You can tell some stuff looks like fairly, like the columns and
Yeah.
stuff obviously had to be redone, a lot of like the plaster work and stuff.
Yeah.
But the great room
Yeah.
is, I think it's like original, right?
Yeah, I think that is original.
Yeah. Even in the front, there's these like gold-looking placards on the wall that are different methods of transporting mail. So
Oh, wow.
one is like the train, one is plane, one is something pony. What is it called?
Pony Express.
Pony Express. So like all these different. It's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a
Pretty dope.
pretty,
Yeah, this is
pretty cool
it's-
little space.
It's pretty cool. This honestly, fun fact again, this is my first time in here.
Same.
I mean, look.
Same. I've never
I ain't
been.
never had no reason to
It
come in
just
here.
opened like not too long ago. I mean,
True.
it's been like a couple
true,
years.
but like I guess yeah, that's a good point. If it sat dormant for like 20 years, you
Yeah.
couldn't get in here anyway.
Right.
So,
But
but yeah, now we in here.
it's really pretty. And we want to come back when it's like, because
Yeah.
the bar is open, but there's no food. And
Yeah, and I can't
mean,
do this.
I can't drink
We riding public transportation.
yeah,
No,
we can't be
do
saucy
that.
on public transit.
No, nope. So, I hope y'all enjoyed the fun facts there
Yeah.
about the old post office. Come check it out. Come check it out. It's a lot of regular looking people here.
It looks like there's like an office party going on upstairs.
Yeah.
I would be very curious. What's open to the public is limited.
Yeah.
So like you can be in the main first floor. I don't
Yeah.
think you can go upstairs
Nah, you
if
can't.
you don't work here. So
Boy, gotta find a bathroom. So, that's
sure
what we're gonna do.
Walgreens has a bathroom.
Yeah. Hey, go like, subscribe, hit the follow button.
Share this episode with
yes,
someone you love
Please do that. And
or someone you hate.
yeah. All right.
I said I wasn't going to be on that shit this year, but
Here we are. Here we are. Until next time, though, we will catch you. Time to go get some food.
peace.